Good morning, everybody. Today I am coming with an interesting topic. Actually, I prefer it to be a discussion rather than to be a message. But I'll plan with a group of people and we'll do it online later. But however, it's a big question. Is God alive? దేవుడు సజీవంగా ఉన్నాడా? సో ఐల్ బీ catering both the English and Telugu audiences, so please bear. Most of it will be covered in both the languages, but in case if I'm not covering, I'll compensate with another specific language video. దేవుడు సజీవంగా ఉన్నాడా? దీనికి నేను ప్రత్యేకంగా ఆన్సర్ చెప్పాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. బికాస్ God is alive and He is a living God and He is living in all of us. సో అయితే దేవుడు సజీవంగా ఉన్నాడా అనే దానికి మనకు కావాల్సిన ప్రూఫ్స్ ఏంటి, మన దగ్గర ఉన్న ప్రూఫ్స్ ఏంటి? అయితే మనం ఎక్కువగా ఆలోచించాల్సింది ఏంటంటే, దేవుడు సజీవంగా లేకపోతే, ఆయన నీలో లేకపోతే నీకు ఒక అనిమల్, ఒక లయన్కో, టైగర్కో, కుక్కకో ఏ డిఫరెన్స్ ఉండదు. సో దెర్ ఆర్ టూ, యాక్చువల్గా చెప్పాలంటే రెండు అధినేతలు ఉన్నారన్నమాట. ఒక అధినేత వచ్చేసి ఓకే, గాడ్ ఈజ్ ఆమ్నిపోటెంట్, ఇంకా ఆయన కంటే పైన ఎవరు లేరు. అయితే తన సుపీరియారిటీని క్వశ్చన్ చేస్తూ ఈ సేటన్ ఆర్ వన్స్ అపాన్ ఆర్కనేంజల్ లూసిఫర్ ఎప్పుడైతే సేటన్గా మారుతాడో అప్పుడు ఈ ఛాలెంజెస్ గాడ్. సో నౌ వాడికి ఏంటంటే ఈజ్ అ గాడ్ ఆఫ్ ఫ్లెష్ అంటే యానిమల్ డిజైర్స్ లైక్ హంగర్, అంటే ఆకలిస్తుంది, నువ్వు పోయి హంట్ చేసుకొని తినాలో, లేకపోతే కొనుక్కొని తినాలో, లేకపోతే చంపి తినాలా. అండ్ సో దీస్ ఆర్ ఆల్ ద వాంట్స్ ఆఫ్ ఫ్లెష్, డిజైర్స్. ఒక అమ్మాయి చూస్తేనే యూ వాంట్ టు హ్యావ్ సెక్స్ విత్ హర్, అండ్ ఒక అబ్బాయిని చూస్తేనే బాగా హ్యాండ్సమ్గా ఉంటే ఇంకా అన్నీ మైమర్చిపోతాం. అసలు పెళ్ళిన వాళ్ళు కూడా, ముసలోళ్ళు కూడా ఏం మెలికలు తిరిగిపోతారు. హ్యాండ్సమ్గా ఉంటే అంత మెలికలు తిరిగిపోతారు. అలాగే ఒక అమ్మాయి యావరేజ్గా ఉంటే మనసు అంతా బాగానే ఉంటుంది, కంట్రోల్గా ఉంటుంది. బట్ కొంచెం ఎక్కువ అందంగా కనబడేటప్పటికి వాలంటరస్ ఫిగర్ అలా చూసి లూషియస్ లిప్స్, జ్యూసీ లిప్స్ ఇవన్నీ చూసేటప్పటికి అసలు తట్టుకోలేకపోతాను అనమాట. దీస్ ఆర్ ఆల్ యానిమల్ డిజైర్స్. అంటే ఇట్స్ అ న్యాచురల్ థింగ్, బికాజ్ హ్యూమన్ ఈజ్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ ఎ social animal. So actually human is equal to an animal plus spirit. So here ఇప్పుడు ఏమైపోతుందంటే, now if we understand that God is alive and is living in us, and the more connection that we have with God, automatically the flesh desires will be in control. If we are not spiritually strong, actually the strength of spirit is actually more than 1,000 or more than that, like times of the strength of the body. So that's why if your spirit says something, the body will have to listen to it. The body will try to say, oh, I am tired, I can't do it. But when the spirit says no, you have to do it, then the body will have to listen. It will listen, it will cooperate. So the body has to be submissive to the spirit. That is the ideal situation. But what is happening today? We don't want to even understand, or we don't want to give God the priority that He is alive. We want Him to be dead. The reason is we only look for Him in the scriptures, in the literature, in the religious books. Because like Mahatma Gandhi has died some very many years ago. Now we have his book, My Experiences with Truth. So we have his biography, And if there are any books about Mahatma Gandhi, we read it. We take it as an authentic book and we read it. And all the information that is in it might be genuine or might not be genuine. But I believe that it's genuine, and then we try to follow it. Similarly, but the thing is, nobody has ever communicated with Mahatma Gandhi after his death, I guess, as far as I know. Because Mahatma Gandhi is dead and he is no more, only his spirit is existing, but we are still we don't know how to communicate with Mahatma Gandhi because he's a dead person. He's a normal human being, he's a dead person. But God, and if you understand deeply, he is alive, and we can see that he is alive and he is giving life, he is protecting everyone, he is in everybody's body who worships God. He's in everybody's spirit. So we are the we are the place where he stays, because living entity will live in living entity only. A living entity will not live in non-living entity. Because God is alive, he will live in human beings. Because he has created them, he has breath into us, his life into us. So we want God to be dormant. We want God not to talk to us. We will only look at the literature. We will look at the Vedas. We will look at the Bible. We will look at the Quran and all the religious texts, and we take that as an authentic text. And then, if even real God wants to talk to us, then we'll try to match with the book and see. Oh yeah, is he the real God? It happened to Jesus when he came here. His own people couldn't identify him. No, they didn't identify him because they were always worried about what is in the text. Is it matching perfectly one to one? And then they wasted the entire time not recognizing Jesus. So a part of God, a finite part of God, came here, lived for 33 years, and then he never called himself God, but he called himself as Son of God. And now God says, "You are my son, and you are my child." So we are all clones of God, and God lives in us. The only problem is we human beings are blinded by certain things. We are controlled by 5 senses. When we see, and when we hear, and when we touch, that is when we believe more. The problem here is what you can see and believe is not that much worth, but what you don't see and then you believe in it is having highest worth. So if I'm talking to you and you are only listening to me and you are not able to see me, suddenly I disappear. So let's say we are sitting together and suddenly you only hear my voice, then you'll run away from there. The reason is one sense is not synchronizing with the other sense. So the eyesight doesn't see me, but if you are able to hear me, then you'll run away from that place, isn't it? So similarly, God sometimes won't be visible to you. He won't be visible. Probably he'll send his angels. So his voice or some encrypted form, he might send some information to you. So there must be some communication between God and you. If God is not communicating to you, that means in your deep belief that you think God is not existing anymore. You ask for the communication because as per Bible, Jesus has enabled the communication with God. The communication that we lost with God, the Holy Spirit that was in Adam came back to human beings when Jesus died in the cross. So the communication has to get restored. Earlier days, Adam was walking hand to hand with Jesus, and nowadays every person is capable of walking hand to hand, talking to him like a friend, and understanding what has to be done, what has to be done on a daily basis, what has to be done, and he has a team who plans for you. He will tell you, but you have to be intelligent to understand, to receive that form. Sometimes it could be encrypted. Sometimes you will just see the face. That means he'll telling you go there. Sometimes you will get a dream, and then he'll say, your friend will appear and he'll be crying or she'll be crying. Then you have to talk to them. So similar thing has happened 2 months ago. One of my friend appeared very depressed, and she was not like that when we were in college. And then I called and asked, do you have any problem? And then she said, she asked me, do you know that you're a son of God? I said, I know, but how do you know? Because I'm having a problem right now. I'm having a problem with my in-laws, and they are in US, but still I am surprised this Indian family system, especially the mother-in-law, the title itself is if you want to like scold somebody, you can just call mother-in-law. And there is a plant, snake plant. It's mother-in-law. So snake is equal to a mother-in-law. So any mother-in-law, suddenly she has the it's a problem basically. She can see his son as his own, but he can't see her own. She can see her son as his own, but she can't see her daughter-in-law anywhere closer to her. And she doesn't like even the daughter-in-law be close to his son, because wife and husband, right? They were both wife and husband, but she doesn't want them to be together. That kind of because a mother takes care of the kid from childhood, and she only takes care of the kid, and not his friends and not his wife and so on. So this mother-in-law thinking itself is so bad. The thought process itself is so bad, especially when it comes to Indian psychology. But if God is really talking to us, then He would give various means of communication, and it is not only one way. Sometimes we talk, and then there's no answer. So it's mostly one way. But if you are really committed to God, and if you really are cleansed, sanctified in your spirit, sanctification in the spirit means you give priority to God. The first priority to God, not your kids, not your family, not your job, not to money, and not to any assets, not your social status, nothing, but you give priority to God. First priority. And that is the best thing that can happen in your life. When you give first priority to God, He will communicate to you. So He will tell you what to do. He will wake you up. So now previously you might be having alarm, put it at 5 o'clock, and then put it in snooze, finally you get about 6 o'clock or something. But God will wake you up 3:30, for that I want to talk to you then. So you want to hear your voice, like friend to friend, talk, and then He'll tell you where to go, what to do. So, but when you are prepared for a bigger human perspective, you should leave your shyness. You shouldn't be feeling shy. Sometimes you'll have to touch people. In a normal life, you won't even touch them. Sometimes you want to downgrade your class. You want to sit with a beggar and talk. Peter, when the beggar was there in the Bible, the disciple of God, the disciple of Jesus, Peter, he sits next to, gives hand to the beggar, and he heals his sickness. The beggar was lame. He'll say, I don't have any money to give you, but I give you the healing. So he touches him. So sometimes you'll have to downgrade yourself, and humbling yourself is a biggest blessing. If you know when to humble, God will lift you up like anything. If you have the heart of compassion, and you know, like the other person is also having the same spirit that you have, your spirit and her spirit has God's spirit. So you both are a little bit of kind of clones who have the same characteristics. So most often what happens is you want to undermine God, and many people have spent a lot of time on reading religious books. Now they have the whole book in their head. Now the head is heavy, head weight. For everything they want to compare, they want to see if this is there in the Bible, or if it is there in the Quran, or if it is there in Mahabharata or Ramayana. So everything they'll compare. They think they're big shots. They are they are very intelligent people. So such in 1 Corinthians first chapter 27 verse it clearly says he's going to put them to shame by selecting useless people. The highest intelligent people will be put to shame by mindless people. I mean, what I say is like by very people who are not very intelligent at all. So your worldly intelligence, your knowledge, your memory power, or your way of communicating to people, your worldly knowledge is nothing. If you are boasting about your worldly knowledge, then my friend, I think you'll have to rethink about your life, because if you feel proud about your worldly knowledge, if you feel proud about yourself, then you will not go too far. You will not reach the heights that you will not even reach. You will not even recognize the purpose of God if you have that kind of spirit. If you have ego everybody should have. I mean, if there is no ego, then we don't need a name at all. So we have ego. We want to be called by our name. We want to be something. We want to achieve something. We want to compare. We want to fight. We want to race. Because we started our life with a race, the sperm race. So we want to do that. But do not ever boast about your worldly knowledge, because God clearly says your worldly knowledge is like, what do you say? Scrap. It's useless thing for me. So scrap it. If you want to read Bible, or if you want to read any religious books, read it with a empty head. You shouldn't have any preconceptions. Then you'll understand that even if you read any religious book, you will be enlightened. The reason is all these religious books is to get you closer to God. If anybody is talking to you and you're getting away from God, then that fellow is telling something bad. That fellow is actually not from God, I would say. Because when you hear some message from God, then you should get closer to God. Is God alive? If I ask no, if my father is there, he'll slap me. Why are you asking this question? God is alive. We all know God is alive, but we do not. We will doubt. Why? When there is such a big natural calamity, what is God doing? When there are so many deaths happening, what is God doing? When there is so much chaos happening in this world, what is God doing? I am a friend. We are here to fight our own battle. If God does everything, what are we going to do? He can do. We can solve all these problems within a second. He can do. It's like you're playing those people who are good in playing games. So if the levels are very easy, right? If the levels are very easy, initially you might like it, but you will not play too long. The game will get bored. Similarly, like if the reason I am saying about gaming is here the game has to be very tough. Then only you'll enjoy. So if God wants to solve all your problems, then what are you going to do? Are you going to sleep? Are you going to be lazy and do nothing about it? Because for every problem, the solution is already is inbuilt in you. All the blessings are inbuilt in you. You will not realize it. If you are very good at recollecting your past, then you will see how many blessings are there. Countless number of blessings in your life, in my life and in your life. But we have this problem, right? We forget the most important things. So I would say, if you recollect all the blessings, then you would know that how much God was blessing us when we are far away from Him. All those times He was with you. There was a story. God and His servant they were both walking, and suddenly, when at difficult times, he wanted to know what happened to us. So they were walking on the sand. So when he looked back at the difficult times, only two steps were there. So he got angry with God. Lord, you left me when there is real need. God said to that guy, hey my buddy, I didn't leave you. I was carrying you, man, all the time. That's why you're seeing my footsteps, not yours. So if you're not conscious about God's presence in you, your life will not be the top-notch way. It'll be mediocre. It'll be okay. How is your life? Okay, man. So that's what you say. But if God is in you, then you will say a different answer. You lack nothing. You lack nothing at all. And there will be leaps and bounds of joy in your heart. This kind of joy that you have in your heart will be only if someone wins a World Cup. Then the joyous moments, right? How you feel it for a few minutes. So those kind of joy will continue to be there in your life. And what more do you want than being joyous? If you eat food, and you might be satisfied sometimes. If you eat your favorite food, you might be very happy. And for some people, they want to have a fag, smoke, and they want to drink. Then they'll be very good. They'll be stable only when they are drunk. So those kind of people are there. Why am I saying this? Yeah. So we have to understand that God is a living God. Just because He's not visible to you, don't think He's not looking at it. It might be a test. When there is a calamity, God wants to see you where you stand. Are you still giving me the priority? Or are you just given up? No, nobody is taking care of me. So I want to ensure you that, because for some people He communicates. Why does He communicate? A doctor in India, like you go to a medical shop and without prescription you tell your problem, he'll give the medicine. Then why do you go and pay the doctor so much money? The reason is a doctor has dedicated 5 years of his life reading books about all the medicines, all the human effect, on the human body, and how these medicines and equipments operate on this body, and to make him well. So he also studies what kinds of diseases are existing, what kind of methods of medicine are available, and all that. So why he is so famous is that, like, he has dedicated. So what is the most important asset that we have? I think the biggest asset that we have is the God in us, and the second most biggest asset is to have time. If you have time, then you can talk to God. That makes the most precious thing happen in your life. If you're already busy traveling here and there, and then like doing your job, and then you don't even have the time for your family, then when are you going to give time for God? And if you don't give time for God, so you are into the flesh. You want to eat, you want to have sex, and you want to drink and enjoy. So food. So this is the level 1 of psychology, Maslow's hierarchy chart. So you'll be stuck in the level 1 itself. When you will actually realize what you want to do in your life, when you understand the will of the God. So even the heavenly prayer that Jesus tells you, don't sit in the streets and tell and pray hours together, showing that you are a big shot, or you are closer to God. No, everybody is at the same distance with God. Only thing is, some people realize the distance, some people don't realize the distance. Some people realize that they are in His heart and there is no distance, but some people realize that He's a little far away because I am not eligible. This I am not eligible should be erased, because in 1 Corinthians 1:27 he says everybody is eligible. Actually, if you are worthless, you are more eligible. If you are senseless, then you are more sensible. And he's going to use the senseless people to touch the ego of sensible people. That's how. Before Jesus came into existence, in this world. It is a complete hierarchy, a discipline. One person and there will be a few person below him. It's like an organizational hierarchy. And while Jesus was there, like this disciple asked, "Oh, who among us is great?" Then he washed everybody's feet. Actually, Jesus was greater than the other people, so he washed all 12 disciples' feet, and he said nothing. He said nothing. He clearly demonstrated that everybody is equal for him. Everybody is at the same proximity to God. But some people won't agree that. He'll say, "I am old. I have been doing ministry for years. I'm old. Some people will say I've did this theological doctorate." So all that. So how is that like we are all equal? And Jesus tells a parable. So there's some work happening in the vineyard, and he goes and checks for people, and then like early morning he goes, and third hour he goes, ninth hour he goes, sixth hour goes, like that 3-4 times he goes in, and last just one hour before closing he goes and brings the guys who are idle. Come on, do the work, and he gives everybody the same pay. So never be boasting about when you came to the ministry. Never be boasting about your qualification. Never boast about anything about yourself, because we are doing His will. So if I am doing God's will and you are doing your God's will, so we are both doing the same thing. How is that somebody is superior, somebody is not superior? We are all superior. We all belong to God's class. And if we perform any healing to other small people, they will think that we are mini gods. They will say, "Oh, you Padmakar sir, you are God." Thereby, what they will do? God will get angry on me. This fellow, he's gay. He's getting recognition from these people. So let's put him in trouble so that he'll realize what he is. So one time when the guy will be good, normally what will happen? Guy is about to die, and then we pray he'll be okay. So and that family will say, "Oh, you are a God, you are God," and that gets into my head. Oh, really? I am God? I am so strong? Oh, I have this healing power. I'll put a name, Padmakar Miracle Ministry, and then like start earning. Come on, then God looks at you. "Hey man," I said, "freely you receive, freely you give, right? Oh, now you started a ministry. You're engulfing all the money. Is this what you are meant to be? I want you." When God says, Jesus once gets frustrated and throws away all the doves and all this near the temple and say, "This is my temple. You made it as a business house. You made it as a den of thieves." So now, and 1 Corinthians 3:16 says, "You are my temple." So now, all the time, if you're thinking about money, business, traveling, entertainment, and won't God say again, "You are supposed to be communicating with me, but now you don't want to spend time with me at all, and then you want to do all the business related stuff, you thief." Not one thief. So even though there's one person called thieves, because there is so many thieves in you. Why don't we give priority to God? So whenever I'm talking to this, so this is God's work. I talked to another person today. That's also God's work. So at times, we might get carried away by the pep it gives. When somebody is dying, raises, and will say, "Yeah, Padmakar, oh yeah, come on." So don't get carried away by that, because we are only the vessels. We are the worthless, useless vessels that God wants to keep us above everybody else, and tell everybody else that I have the capability of choosing mean, meek, useless people to be above all the intellectuals. So if you have time, then you are a very blessed person. Because with time you can make money, but with money you can't buy time. So time is a most valuable asset. And if you think time is not a valuable asset, I can't help you. And this time, the time that you have, if you spend judiciously for doing God's will, then you will be sitting among kings. You will have so much money in your account, and if you have money in your bags, your fingers will pain counting them if you don't have a counting machine. So God is alive, and He's alive in you, in me. When you pray, did Jesus use some coconut oil and rubbed on everybody? Put coconut oil on your mouth. If you want, coconut oil is good. I'm not saying coconut oil is bad. Coconut oil and sesame oil and olive oil, they all have healing properties. They have medicinal properties. I'm not saying that they're not, but Jesus never used them. So do what Jesus is doing. Don't reinvent and find something. Yeah, I just said you will do greater things than me. So do greater things now. Now what happens? You want to tell people you don't have the power to heal, but the oil that I gave you, which you applied on somebody or yourself, that is what healed you. So what they're saying is, you are not eligible for doing healing. It is my oil that is doing. So if I'm supplying oil from Padmakar Ministries, right? I don't have any ministry. I'm just telling an example. If I have supplying oil and then you apply it and then you get healed, so the person who has prayed, right, he will not realize his anointing, that he has healing. He has got the healing gift. So that's a very big trick, na? So everybody want to come to the church and they want to heal there and then get your money from there. If everybody is sitting there at homes and healing themselves, the whole worldly organization will collapse. Worldly organizations depend on dumb people. So the dumb people come there and they'll say, "Oh, I bless you, bless you, bless you. I bless you, I bless you, I bless you." That's what they say. But God already told that sending my son to you and he sacrificed, that itself is the biggest blessing, and you are already blessed. There is no new blessing that needs to be given to you. It's all in you. All you need to do is be conscious about it. If you don't have it, then you can ask for it. But if you have it, why do you ask for it? Like for example, okay, my son has come from Bangalore and he's here inside my home. So what should I do? Should I go to bus stand and search for him every day? You won't do that, right? If I do that, then they'll directly join me in a psychiatric ward, mental hospital. So you already have it, and then why don't you realize it? Then these people, the clever people, they give some sort of oil or handkerchief and they ask, pray with this thing, you'll get healed. And especially most of the ladies, right, they get carried away by this. They use the oil, they use the thing, and they will undermine the God's living in their life, and they will undermine the presence of God at all. They'll think so and so ministry has supplied all and it worked. Ministry is great, and then they'll send checks, whatever 10% or whatever they feel like they'll send. So I pity dumb people, but at least you should realize that God is living and He is communicating to you, and He is living in you. So you will never lack anything. You will have abundance in your life. You will have plentiness in your life. But you'll have to realize that He is in you. When He is in you, before He is in you, you'll have to sanctify your soul. You have to ask forgiveness. You have to be compassionate. You have to give priority to God. So all this, when it is done, you will see every day. You will talk God every day. He will wake you up. He will plan things for you. You don't have to waste too much time planning around things. Everything will happen, and everything that happens, you will be very happy and very excited about it. Be glad and be exceedingly glad, because God is in you. So God is in you. That means if you are alive and God is alive. I'm saying you have life, and if you don't believe it that you have life, you're dead, right? Similarly, God is alive, and if you don't believe, who is the loser? Basically, you are the loser. You'll have a worst life in your whole ever time. You will be working like a dog, and still not be able to get any further. The same job that you've been doing 30 years ago, the same thing you'll be doing again and again, over and over again. No happiness, nothing, no nothing. So you if you don't realize that God's presence is there, and God is distributed in us, in all of us, His presence is there, and be conscious about it. Get blessings. Heal yourself. Heal the people around you. Pray for the people who have died, and you might not know that you already have the death rising power already, and chase away devils. When there are devils, do not be scared, because when Adam was created, God asked all the angels to prostrate to Adam. That means Adam was the one who has been given authority after God. So we all have this authority. So we all have authority over demons. We have authority over devils. So be bold, be happy, and you have to be exceedingly happy, because God is in you. Thanks for all of us who joined. I think I made some sense. God is alive in you and me, and we no matter what your religion is, no matter what your religion is, no matter where you are, no matter what you do, God is living in you. But some people have this big question. I'm a mentally sick person. I'm a sick person, basically. I'm a dirty person. My thoughts are dirty. Brother, you still have God in you. But the only thing is, you are not giving time to God, and you're not communicating with God properly. So that the spirit level, you are weak. So the body is now asking for things which are illegal. Illegal in the spiritual sense, or illegal in the local law sense. So all you have to understand is God is alive and He is in you. So you realize it and get abundance and plentifulness in your life. You will never fear for anything. You will see that you are the top of what you're doing, because all intelligence comes from God, all wisdom comes from God, all blessings come from God, everything that is good comes from God. So when we have God in us, that means we are empowered with all the blessings, goodness and happiness. So I think I made some sense to some of us, and just pass it on. Don't have to share my video. Do tell the same thing, because just if God has revealed me in a certain manner, you don't just believe me directly. Pray, and then once you understand what that I'm saying is right, in spirit, then you can just tell to other people, talk to other person, and say, you and I are brothers because we are son of God. You and I are sisters because we share the same thought, we share the same spirit. So you and I have no problems. If you scold me, I'm not worried. If I scold you, I'm sorry. Your God is my God, because there is only one God. Simple. All problems solved, and we make this world a beautiful place to live. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye bye. See you. Catch you later.